Yeah. This
Now we can call the shots.
This is it's very classy up here. Very, very classy. So I'm gonna get started with a couple questions for y'all. We were just talking about food backstage, which honestly, and then the staff was like, please start the panel. Please stop talking about food back here. So we'll continue that after, because I'm curious about this 12-course place. So we have 2 mics on either side, and we obviously would love to get to as many fan questions as possible. So please feel free to line up, and I will get started. But so it is so lovely to meet you. Have you been to Philadelphia before?
I lived here for a while. I used to live in the Spruce on 6th and Spruce, the Terrain building. I don't know what it's like.
Oh, that's great.
It's like over there now. But I was in a band, and this was the best place to tour from. You know, you could get anywhere.
Yeah, absolutely. And we met yesterday.
Yes, this is my 3rd visit to Philadelphia.
I love it. Are you, I'm sorry about the rain, by the way.
We were here together that one year.
Okay.
With Miley and Lisa.
I don't normally wear my slippers with socks, but I didn't bring any winter shoes because I thought, I looked at the rain report and it said it wasn't going to rain until I was actually going to be on a plane home. So I was like, and now I'm like, I'm cold. So I was like, all I have are these slippers and socks. So
I feel like the weather people are just here to play with us.
Yeah.
They're like,
I have
let's say
sandals
this.
Yeah.
But then really, her shoes will be wet, which is rude. When you were in the band here, did you get to play at the Troc before it closed?
Gosh, I don't remember. I mean, we played all over the place. We mostly toured out of here. Like we would do a lot of stuff like in New York and then Washington D.C. and like it was just a place that you could get a lot of places.
Gotcha. So both of you have an array, obviously, of voices that you've done. Have you ever both tallied fully up how many you have done over your lifetime?
Yeah, Grave's done way more than me.
But still,
every night I sit there.
Every night and then calls me. Got another one today.
2,300 more.
Yeah.
Do you have a number? I Wikipedia'd it and it gave me a number.
Oh, it did?
Yeah.
Well, there's a website called Behind the Voice Actors, and that they've got a tally up. And I don't know. I was on Mad TV, the animated Mad TV, which it inflated my numbers quite a bit because every episode I would do like 10 different characters.
Yeah, that's true because when we're on, like if you look at IMDb or something, it lists every single episode that we've been in of every show. And
right.
Stuff. So I would say that I probably have somewhere close to 7.5 million.
Great.
Voices.
Yeah. Absolutely.
I also play the incidental roles a lot. Like, I mean, I don't always play the lead, and so the lead people who play the lead, like, they're more famous. Like, people are like, oh my god, they were, whatever. But I got more credits because I played like 5 people in the episode.
Yeah, exactly.
They're still getting that 1 point. I'm getting 5.
Exactly. So my other question then is. Both of you do comedy on, like, in other elements of it. Is that something that you've enjoyed bringing, like, those skill sets to be able to create your voices? Like, talk about sort of using that comedy background. How are you applying that then to creating these voices that we get to hear?
I think that, like yourself, you're an improv person. Gray and I both do a lot of improv, and we have for a lot of years. Mm-hmm. And so I think that helps with the freedom we feel in the booth. And we're lucky that we've had the opportunity to work with a lot of creators who let us do that. They know what we do.
Yeah.
So, like, Gray and I have done a lot of jobs together, but like we're on a show called Loud House, and Loud House is everybody has been on Loud House. Like everybody in voiceover's been in Loud House. Yeah. But we play regular characters, and we'll do a pass, and they won't even hesitate to let us
just
improvise.
Try others.
Yeah, and they're like, oh yeah, we like that, let's do that.
Yeah.
So that's how our comedy comes into it. And sometimes, like, we've been in the booth and we have another line we want to try that we think maybe was a better punchline or something.
Right.
And they let us try that.
Yeah.
Can we do one more? Can I do one more? I have an idea.
Yeah. So it is a collaborative.
On Butch Hartman shows, I used to get in trouble for doing too much improv because I was always trying to make it funnier. And finally, his big line, we would always joke, he's like, Great, can we get one more as written? Just one more as written. And I'm like, okay, all right. But yeah, I did stand-up, and that's how I got into cartoons. I would do impressions during my stand-up, and Pauly Shore's mother, Pauly Shore, who was in a bunch of...
I was literally just talking about Pauly Shore the other day with, like, 2 of my coworkers who are way younger than I am, and I had to, like, pull up, like, I was like Biodome, Jury Duty. I was like, they're like, I have never heard of these. I was like, it was literally like a good 5 years of my life.
But his mom owned the Comedy Store. It was a comedy club in Los Angeles, and so she was really sweet, Mitzi Shore, and she was like, you know, honey, you gotta write jokes. You can't just go up there and do impressions. Because I would literally just go up there and go, okay, who likes this? Who likes that? I could do, you know, and I would do Anita Baker, which I'm probably sure you guys are all too young to remember. But she was like a singer and a soul singer, and you couldn't understand anything she was saying, but she had a really good voice. So I would go, I'm humble just because, I'm humble just because I do. Anyway,
But that, to me,
that was like a joke. I was like, and I do Anita Baker, and here she is. You know, and I had no like routine.
but
like,
to me, that's more entertaining than some like dude getting up and talking about his ex-wife. So your stand-up would be much more entertaining to me than.
She goes, write jokes, but in the meantime, you should do cartoons because you do a lot of great voices. I don't know anything about that, but you should go do that. And I was like, oh, I'll just go do that. I thought you could just go sign up for it, and it turned out to be the hardest job ever to get into.
Did you guys ever watch The Family Feud?
Yes.
So the very first time I ever saw Gray do this bit, she was young. She was, how old were you?
Like 15.
15. Do you guys know The Wizard of Oz?
Yes.
Okay, go ahead, Gray.
I want to go home. I want to go home. Annie, I'm not going to hunt her. I'm frightened. Are you a good witch or a bad witch? I'm not rich at all. I'm just a little girl. It's alright. It's alright. You may only come out and thank God. As mayor of Munchkin City, in the county of the land of Oz, I welcome you most legally, but you gotta verify illegally to see if she is morally, ethically, physically, spiritually, positively, absolutely, undeniably, unreliably dead. As God and I vouch for her, I thoroughly examined her, and she's not only merely dead, but she is quite sincerely dead. Who killed my sister? Was it you? I didn't mean to kill her. I didn't mean to kill anybody. Put him up, put him up. I'll get you a bonehead, man. I can kill her. Ah, you didn't have to hit me. Ah. Anyway, I did the
whole movie? Can you do the whole movie?
all the way to the end where I was like, oh, I want to go home. I kept telling everyone, I want to go home. And I whined and bitched and complained, and finally they sent me home. But I did that on my family was on Family Feud, and Ray Combs was the was the host, and I really thought like it's gonna happen. They've asked me to do my impressions, and now I'm gonna be famous.
Yeah.
Like, I really thought like, where's the talent agent? Are they waiting in the wings? Nothing happened.
Yeah.
But someone recently, that episode, somebody put it on YouTube. So if you look up Gray DeLisle Family Feud or Gray Griffin Family Feud, it'll come up. And also, I was in an anti-drug movie when I was 15 that Nancy Reagan had come to our school and cast, and I played like Candy, the girl who talked like this, and she was like trying to get the girl to go to a party. It was sort of like a Portia voice from the Mighty Me. And but yeah, that's how I started doing. I did some radio commercials back then. So when Mitzi was like, "You should do cartoons," I was like, I've already done radio commercials. I'm just gonna go sign up. And so but there's the director of that recently posted a video of me on my 15th birthday doing all my impressions and stuff. And I'm chewing gum the entire time, which is hilarious, my friends. My grandma.
I remember that that Nancy Reagan. It was like, just say maybe.
Yes.
Just say maybe.
Just say
maybe.
I don't know.
Say maybe to drugs. I mean, just say no to her. That's why.
I got to meet her once, and all I remember is when I hugged her, I was like, I can feel her spine. Anyway, she was very thin.
You cracked her spine.
But I love the journey of, because folks will see you in something and be like, oh my gosh, you should do this. And then you immediately are like, yes, I should. How do I do that?
My grandma thought it was like the old days in Hollywood where you could just show up to the studio. And she's like, we would drive past the Disney building, and I would have her visit me when I first moved to LA. And she's like, Mishita, go to them and tell them. Say, I like the voices. I do the voices. Mr. Urban Mayor,
They will let you
hire
in.
me. Yeah, I was like,
Well, that's how
Disney,
Jim
but-
Belushi got on SNL. He just rolled up in the lobby and started doing stuff, and they're like, this guy's got something.
Yeah, Steve Gutenberg took residency, he snuck on a lot and took residency in an office that wasn't even his.
But it's like nowadays you would just be like arrested immediately.
Yeah, he was eventually kicked out.
Okay,
Yes,
yeah. Exactly.
That's called squatting.
Let's go. It's true. Great. Well, I would love to turn it over to y'all because I'm sure you have like the most amazing questions. We'll go this side, then this side, and back and forth. So tell us your name so we know who we're having a conversation with.
My name's Tom. So you've both been in front of the mic and behind the mic on lots of different shows. I was wondering if you bring anything different to shows, for, say, like Nickelodeon versus more like adult shows like Vox Machina and Hell of a Boss.
No, I don't think we bring anything different. I think that the process is different more than anything. Like when we were doing, when you do Nickelodeon, you don't really see the storyboard. You just play in the booth. Cartoon Network was a little bit edgier, so we had a little bit more freedom that way. But in like Billy and Mandy, we would always get the storyboard the night before, and we'd go through the storyboard. But luckily,
I wouldn't.
but
I
luckily,
just winged it, you know.
Yes,
He was
that's
wondering
true.
most of the dialogue.
Yes, I would like. Interesting. I wonder what Gray will do with that line. Interesting. If
One
Gray,
time I found out I died at the taping while I was saying the lines.
yes,
Because
yes.
not in that show, but I just, they were like, they had asked me a bunch in the lobby, like, what'd you think of the episode? And I'm like, it's great. I love it. It's so good. And my part especially is so good. And they were like, okay, so you're cool with everything. And I'm like, yes, I love so much this show. And then it was Aya on the Green Lantern. And then as I was doing it, I was like, oh no, I'm dying. That's why they asked me this. I'm not on the show anymore.
yeah, it's because I'm directing Hell of It Has Been now, and we're working with like really big names from Broadway, and they're amazing. And so my assumption is always, did you get a chance to read the script? Right, because you don't want to assume they did, because they're going to need context, so that it'll take longer if they don't know what's going on. But it's because we often did not read the script. We just did it on
They're
the
probably
fly.
aghast, like, of course I got a chance to read the
Yes,
script.
exactly what Grace
I'm
says.
a professional.
Yeah, of course I read the
Of course I
script.
did.
Not only that, Keith David, who plays Husk, will call and ask for like backstory before he even records a song, because he's very method, and it's. So to answer your question, we're the same people no matter where we go. We play the same.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you so
Thank you so
much.
Thanks, Tom.
We'll go over here. Hi.
Finally, my name is Billy. So my question's a two-part. So back in 2007, Grimm had a crossover with K&D. So what was it like working with the K&D cast? And if it was possible, what other crossover would you like to see Grimm do, old or new?
I love doing the crossover because we got to like I would make fun of number one. So Billy was like, number one, so I like doing that. That was our friend Ben Diskin and everything. So it was fun because it's all our friends, it's like we would be coming out of the booth as they would be coming in to record and that sort of thing. And we had a lot of fun with it. For me, a crossover of like our shows.
Show.
I think I'd like to see a Billy Zim crossover. I'd like to see
I played Lizzie on Kids Next Door,
Oh, Nigel, I love you so much. And I played Grandma Stuff Bombs. Eat, children, eat.
so I got to do a few different things on that. But I would like to see a crossover between Scooby and the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Thank you so much for your question, Billy. Hi.
Hi, Kieran. My name's Kanoko. I have
Hi,
two-
Kanoko.
Hello. I have two questions, that's all right.
Start with the second one.
Yeah.
Well, the second one is, could you do the movie rant as Billy?
The movie rant?
Yeah.
Oh, I know what you're talking about. You're talking about, am I the only one who appreciates the cinematic?
If I don't want to appreciate like the cinematic masterpiece or something like that.
Am I the only one who recognizes the cinematic masterpiece? You're not stupid, you're stupid! My favorite was, you ain't bad, you ain't nothing!
I just have to say, he did so much with that part when it wasn't written as great as you made it.
That's another way of saying, boy, would he not shut up!
I just like, I remember seeing the scripts and then he would get a hold of the part and it was just like, that's the difference between just a regular, just someone who's serviceable and then just someone who just like is a magic person, Yeah.
Thank
We
you.
were watching it at home. My daughter, I said, oh, I saw it come up on the, and I was like,
Yeah.
oh, we should watch this. I was like, Mommy was in it. She's like, no, I don't want to watch it. She's 7. She's like, I know. And she is so Mandy. Like, she's like, got a really dark sense of humor. She she bosses her 9-year-old brother around all the time and tricks him into giving her stuff, and yeah, Posey. And so I was like, I think you would really like it. The little girl's really funny. And so we watched it. She's like, no, I hate it. I don't want to watch it. And I was like, okay. So we turned it off, and then the next night she was like, we could put on that show.
Oh.
And now every night they're like, can we watch Billy and Mandy? So and I get to marveling about how great Richard is.
Yeah, of course. You had a two-parter.
Yeah.
I'll allow it.
Objection!
So it's for Richard as well, but maybe Greg can answer. I'm
good.
I'm a huge Ben 10 fan, and
Yes.
you worked on the original series. I want to
Yes.
ask, what was your experience working on that with all the other actors and whatnot?
I had a lot of fun on Ben 10. They changed characters for no reason. Like they would change voices for no reason. It was like suddenly you're doing it. Next thing you know, Eric Bowes is doing Grandmother or someone. Because there were different iterations of it.
Yeah.
And so I had fun, but when you're a kid, you don't want to be the little guy. You don't want to be the kid that crawls through the the electrical circuit. So.
I enjoyed doing it because it was basically my just Johnny Carson on TV.
So that's exactly like what Gray was saying, is that the reason why impressions come in really handy is because you think you might be doing one of the best impressions ever.
But it really wasn't, it's just like, oh, that is wild. Oh man, it's time to go hero.
So I had fun, but it was a show meant to sell toys because they sold the toy contract before the show came out.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Thank you guys.
Yeah, I would always. Oh, sorry. I would always know that a show.
Water bottle? I
would always know that a show was ending because I have 3 children, and every time we would go to the Target or whatever, and I'd see things in the discount bin, a show that I was on. I'm like, oh no, they're not going to renew that show. These toys are not selling. Oh no.
No. And once they get there, then I feel like once something hits a bargain bin, there's a resurgence because people that never watched it before are regenerating into.
There we go. That hasn't been the truth at all. But but I do snap those up so I can sell them at my table. I'm like, I'm getting my paycheck out of this.
Amazing. Hi, welcome.
I am Wally, Guardian from New York.
Hello.
I gotta ask, Greg, any roles you want to go back, like from shows that ended like cliffhangers or were like done, would you want to go back to?
Well, the Green Lantern would have been good. Yeah. And Danny Phantom, I don't think that
DC Superhero Girls.
DC Superhero Girls. I love working with Lauren Faust. She's wonderful. Yes.
Excellent.
It could be worse. Never a spades. It could be that same Jake Gigant, and she's standing right behind me.
You quote everything. This is amazing.
I know all.
Yes.
Giganto was a fun character to play too.
Thank you for your question. Oh my goodness. I wish I had the memory. My goodness. Hi, welcome.
Hi, my name is Dominique. I'm from Philly. Hi.
I saw you this morning.
It was yesterday, technically.
Oh, was it yesterday?
The days are
Days
blending.
are blending.
I'm spilling water all over the floor. I don't know what's happening.
Sure, it's water.
It's tears.
Oh my god, I'm trying not to cry right now because y'all are pivotal in my childhood. I hear your voices and I automatically recognize that's Richard, that's Gray. I know I'm gonna ask, but my question, and it kind of has to do with yesterday when I asked about Keeper of the Reaper because that's one of my all-time favorite episodes of Billy and Mandy. What was y'all most memorable line or favorite line from that episode that y'all can do right now? Because
the Big Boogie Adventure. Was it which
Keeper
one?
of the Reaper?
Oh, Keeper of the Reaper.
Where they had to go to court to get Grim.
Interesting fact. My wife Kristen and I wrote that episode. We wrote,
I only tolerate Richard so I can be around Kristen.
That's
so that's
right,
how great she is.
Carl Greenblatt is the one that created Fred Fredberger, because he was directing it. I like nachos.
I know, it's not time for nachos.
Keeper of the Reaper, my favorite line is, the song. Billy has a line in the song where he goes, he puts the something in the something. I was like, he puts the funk in the something. I can't remember what it was because it was so long ago. But to remember our favorite lines on that one, I just loved all of it because we wrote the lines.
Yeah.
I know, everyone. Yeah, what do you remember your favorite line?
I'm bad at remembering.
We're
that.
bad at remembering this. What's your favorite line?
Oh gosh.
See?
I really did enjoy the song, but I think I have to go back to when my sister and I talk about this about Wiggy Jiggy Jet the third when Randy brought up that Billy had destroyed.
Not Jiggy Jiggy Jet!
And she said, a hat that belonged to Wiggy Jiggy Jet the third. I had a good reason. He bored me. And what happened when Grim bored you? Are you going to destroy him too? Josh, I want the hat. I want the hat. I think I only get to have the hat. And what is wrong with you?
Whoa.
We cannot do it any better.
That was perfect. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Oh my goodness, y'all are magical this morning.
One time Richard called my house and my grandmother, I used to take care of my grandmother before she passed away, but Richard called up and when I got home and she goes,
Mijita, a nice lady called the house. A nice lady.
and I said, oh she did? Well, what is her name? And she goes, Richard. I was like, you picked the most masculine name. My grandma was like, no, it's an older lady.
True story.
Amazing. Good boy.
Millions of
Good afternoon. My name is Daniel. I live in Philadelphia so far. I like Billy and Mandy. I like Vader Sim so much. I tried to do the voice acting of Billy all day for Cartoon Network called Back to the Past or something in Adult Swim. Congratulations. I give a couple questions for both of you. I know Mandy was trying to do the vampire thing come up, but she did not show she didn't show it when the Christmas special come up. So what if Mandy was a vampire?
Ooh.
I'm an emotional vampire already. I take everyone's energy.
That was Gilbert Gottfried who played Santa in that. Remember that?
Yeah.
Wow, what would you be like? I mean, you're already kind of Dracula-ish.
Yeah.
I want to suck your blood. Yeah, that's a good question. What's the other question?
And the other question is Billy's trying to not afraid of spiders or anything else not to fear of?
Yeah. You, Dad, I'll do anything you want. I want you to be dead! That interesting, Jeff the Spider was played by Maxwell Burton, the Maxwell Adams, the creator of our show.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you so much. Hi.
The things they got away with on that show, I'm sorry. I'm watching
fine.
it with my children going, standards and practices, bitches about the littlest things now and now. We were talking about, like, I want you to be dead. They wouldn't let you say that.
They will on Cartoon Network, and when we were doing
Nickelodeon.
We had an episode of The Angry Beavers where Norbert says, "Shut up, Dag," and we had to re-record it and made it hush up. But yet, Angelica was calling them, "You stupid dumb babies," but we couldn't say.
We couldn't say
Shut
butt
up.
on the Fairly Odd Parents. It was like, he was like, but, and it was like, what is the fascination with my butt? You know, and they wouldn't let us say it. So anyway,
Wow.
so stupid, yeah.
It's probably because obviously kids go around quoting it, and that's all that they're going to be saying then. To
Good.
them.
Good. Here they are.
Here they are. Here they are.
Hi, I'm a little nervous. My heart is pounding right now.
Me too. I'm in it with you. Go ahead.
I'm Ace. I live here. I'm local. I actually kind of have a question and a request for Richard. My question is, how do you usually get through like any sort of lines you find embarrassing or like outlandish? I'm mainly thinking of Helava, but
So I'm never embarrassed with a line. I'm just not. It's like I'm fine with it. Like when Moxie said, "Are you effing filming us right now?" I knew that people are going to say, "Oh, you know, Billy or Zim is swearing," but it doesn't bother me because I swear like a banshee at home, right? So I'm used to that. But it's usually pretty easy to get through for me. And what was the second part?
I actually had a request.
Yes.
Speaking of the "Are you," I was asking if you could do the line again. Like, are you fucking filming me right now?
Yes. Are you fucking filming us right now? Yeah, it's funny because Gray and I go back 30 years, and everything I've ever done has always been children's TV, Nickelodeon and Disney and Cartoon
But he's
Network.
also I see you in on-camera stuff all the time, and I'm always impressed. I'm like, how come you didn't brag about that? If I was in an on-camera thing, everyone would know, because I'd be like, when I was filming that thing with these big stars, and yeah.
You're too kind. I'm not. I was telling Gray last night that Tom Kenny and I did a movie together back in 1988 called How I Got Into College. And we were both in it, but we were never in any scenes together.
Oh.
And so every now and then I'll be talking with Tom and I'll say, do you miss the on-camera stuff? And he goes, because I really don't, because I do get to do on-camera stuff, as Salty the Pirate or whatever for Spot. I go, but what about like the movies where we like change, step out of those worlds? And he said, that's my favorite thing when people come up to me and say, do you act anymore? And he says, it's the best thing is, no, he goes, I took a couple of years off to become a global icon. The best thing ever. That is like the worst thing you could ever say to a voice actor is, do you miss acting?
Oh my God.
Because the best actors I've ever met are voice actors.
Yeah.
By far. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Because you take away your physicality and you have the magic of your storytelling.
You can't do a look like you can on camera. Because in film, one look is huge, right? One look is huge. But you can't do that in voiceover. You have to find a way to express that. Which is why, like in our stories, Billy was always like, or Sim was like, because you have to find a way to vocalize that.
Yeah.
And if you saw Scarlett Johansson in the SpongeBob movie, you'll see she's a good actor, but when she can't rely on her face or whatever, her performance seems very flat.
It is. It's interesting because it is. I think you rely on something for so long as a performer. If you're thrust into something that you're not used to, then it's like, oh, I didn't realize I relied on that. Yeah. Absolutely. Hello. We'll get to your question.
Hi, Jim. I'm from Pennsylvania local. First thing, Gray, I just wanted to say I used to work with someone who was a distant relative of Bert Lahr, and she would have loved your Cowardly Lion.
Oh, thank you. Oh my goodness.
And my question actually relates to something you were talking about a little earlier with the standards and practices. Like, you mentioned that Cartoon Network could be a little lenient, but was there ever a time when you were working on Billy and Mandy and there were like certain lines or even a certain episode premise that you really were eager in, but S&P just said, oh hell no, you can't do that?
They never stopped us from doing it.
They never stopped us from doing it. I mean,
I've only run into it. Disney is the absolute most strict, and then Nickelodeon, they only let people get abused behind the scenes apparently. But they were worried about kids. They were worried about the viewing kids, not the other ones.
Yeah.
Please still hire me, Nickelodeon, if you're watching this.
we love you, Nickelodeon.
When I watched that documentary, I was one of the men that were interviewed for it. I was like, I know that guy, but how would I have met that guy? And it turned out I knew him when he was like 10 years old. He was on Whatever Happened to Robot Jones. But he was on all that apparently. I didn't know that, but he was the sweetest little kid. And I was like, I was glad that nothing terrible happened to him. But it's so weird to see someone as an adult but know them. But they go, oh no, I knew 9-year-old him. I knew. Look how he turned out. He's a man now. Anyway, but I was the only adult.
That happens.
Yeah, I was the only adult on the Robot Jones show. Everything was a kid except for me, and those kids were.
To answer your question, no. Nothing that we ever knew of, but we recorded a lot of different takes. So if things made it or didn't make it for some reason, we usually weren't privy to that.
Oh yeah, thank you.
Thank you so much. Hello.
Hi, I'm Jason. I'm a little starstruck because you two voiced multiple shows from pretty much my entire childhood. Fairly Odd Parents, Danny Phantom, Avatar: The Last Airbender.
Don't flatter yourself, you were never even a player.
And for Richard, Billy, and Mandy, but also Angry Beavers.
Come on,
And I recently figured out that you were Alpha 5 in the original.
Aye, Zordon.